Hey everyone. So one of my favorite scenes right out of the gate with this episode is basically Usopp regaling the Giants with the crew's fight against Oars, because it's one of those moments where he is skirting the truth a little by saying he's the one who defeated Oars, but he's not technically wrong in saying that they fought him. And I like how the further Usopp travels, the more his tales become actual reality. Like I know it's been a thing with his journey this whole time, but it's this feels like one of the biggest encapsulating moments of his journey, where it's that where Usopp is so far in where Usopp has been so far and seen so many things now that the only lies he can really tell are about his own involvement in the events themselves. And like all this is to say, Usopp has come a long way since he first began his journey with the others, and it really shows. Even moving on the Usopp moment though, I like how the whole scene with the Straw Hats does further break down the perceptions we've had about giants, that they're all seafaring warriors, but really there's so many who haven't been out to sea and have lived their whole lives within the confines of Elbaf's borders. Like they aren't the same like Dory Broggy or anyone else who've actually been out to sea. And yeah, I did wince a little bit at seeing Roto again in the episode, but I had to remind myself that, yeah, he does get a little bit better after this point, or bare minimum more tolerable. um, Roto's but Roto aside, though, the episode does also start an interesting conversation, as through a brawl among the giants, we see there are many different perceptions of Nika on Elbaf. Some see him as the sun god, others a god of destruction. Well, for some, Nika is a god of liberation. Other he's a god of domination. It's like there's so many ways that Nika is perceived in Elbaf. So it's interesting but the one clear distinction out of all of them is that when the world faced destruction, Nika was there. So it's not hard to see how those conflicting views came to be. In fact, the more I think about it, Nika feels in a way like the Avatar, only ever appearing in a world that faces calamity. But unlike the Avatar, no one knows if Nika is a herald of peace or destruction. And I love Luffy, but in some ways his lack of self-awareness when it comes to Nika is somehow both endearing and frustrating, because it shows he has the qualities of being the next Nika, yet his inability to recognize or just care who he's become is a little irritating at times. And I don't even know why I get irritated by it, because it is a trait that has been part of Luffy as a character for decades. But like in cases like this, it's like a little bit acknowledgement of like, oh, I'm oh is of just oh is that what the white form I transform into is? Like is that what it's about? I'm not asking him for him to be like deeply invested in who Nika is or whatnot, but just a little acknowledgement about like, that's the form of the person I take. That's what that is, kind of thing. Like just something little like that. But like, yeah, I don't know. It's a little small irritation, but it does stack up a little bit. In saying that, all that, Luffy definitely learned what Elbaf thinks of Loki, and that's definitely a lesson that's going to stick with him. And I will be honest, despite Oda's usual method of two sides to every story, kind of storytelling with a character writing, there was a point for the longest time where I genuinely believed that all these tales told about Loki were as cut and dry as they were being told. But I think the point where I did start to question things a bit more is after the introduction of Colin's father. As small spoiler, but he is the one who has the key to Loki's cuffs. And I love how it's Zoro who was able to clock that Luffy was keeping a secret. Like, for as much as we joke that Luffy and Zoro share a brain cell, it is one of those moments that really shows Zoro is one of the select few who knows Luffy the most, and also kind of points out and also inadvertently, whether intentionally or not, kind of points out one of Luffy's biggest flaws in this episode, which is that Luffy will basically jump at any chance given to him when it comes to Shanks. Like any chance he has to kind of point him in the direction of where Shanks is, he's going to jump on that, even if he's being and that includes even to points where even if he's lied to. So he lets his emotions overtake him to the point of letting his guard down and not even thinking about the consequences. And even though Zoro does, and even though Zoro he does agree to go along with him, I like how I do like his reasoning is to get a read on Loki and how much of what he told Luffy is a lie and how much of it is actually true. And then you got Nami coming in to state the obvious that neither of these idiots know where the key is. Like it's kind of just a fun dynamic all around, and just like it is just kind of an interesting thing to kind of note of like, yeah, Luffy, I get where he's coming from, but simultaneously he's falling for Luffy. He's falling for Loki's like he's falling for a lot of what Loki says a little too easily. Frankly, in my opinion, he needs to kind of at least somewhat consider the danger here a bit. Even if Loki himself isn't all that bad. With with that said, yeah, we get the two mysterious figures. And with that said, we see the two mysterious figures approach Loki to and ask him to join a group called the Knights of God. And yeah, having read the manga, seeing Loki throwing a fit, ranting and raving about not wanting to become a piece of trash and basically telling them to go fuck themselves definitely rings a different tune knowing what I know about Harald, Loki, and the government's involvement in Elbaf's history. Like Loki's clapback to them was of them saying that they're all pieces of trash, and the whole idea of becoming Knights of God is a piece of trash. It's well earned. Like the fact he knows what a knight of God is even kind of shows that there's history there. That there's history there for sure. On that note, though, we do learn the identity of one of these intruders. The blue-haired girl is named Gunko, and aside from her powers, which are already freaky in themselves, Gunko is also a whole can of worms in the sense of being one of those characters I wasn't expecting to care about all that much, but once again, given recent developments in the manga, yeah, it's surprising and yet not how much narrative leverage Oda managed to squeeze out of this singular character. Like when it came to not only building upon a certain Straw Hat's backstory, but also the history of the world itself and how no one is safe from the clutches of the government, no matter your social standing. That's all I'm gonna say on Gunko for now. But yeah, it's like there's like we're like with the introduction of these two characters, it kind of opens so many like so many Pandora's boxes to basically the world building of One Piece that it's like, okay, where half the time when reading the manga I was like, okay, Oda, you can calm down a little bit, bro. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much all I got for this review. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe from Blue Sky, and it's Crunchyroll. Be sure to hit the bell, hit the subscribe button, and just everyone, guys. Dark Knight only signing off. Later, everyone.